Hello, everyone. I'm Joker. And right now we're gonna watch Noxious Nick run Metroid Zero Mission. So, good luck, Nick, and have a good time.
Alrighty, with that, I'll go ahead and get started, and I'll introduce myself during the countdown. So, timer starts when I select a file. I'll select it in 3, 2, 1, go! So, I'm noxiousnick. I speedrun Zero Mission primarily. I like to run all the categories. They're all very fun, very unique. Right now, 100% is a very popular category because a big discovery was just found about a month or two ago, which is early power bombs. And for anyone not in the loop, Zero Mission hides the power bombs from you until the very end of the game, even casually. There's no power bombs that are accessible until right before the final boss. You can pick them up and open up the tunnel to the final boss to kill him, which you don't even get in any percent because there's a shortcut right on top of the tunnel, so you just avoid them. So in the old route for 100%, you would play to the end of the game, pick up the first pack of power bombs, turn around, go back to the beginning of the game, and use the power bombs to blow up power bomb blocks and pick up power bomb expansions, and then come back to the final boss and kill him. So in the community, there's been a very long hunt for earlier power bombs to save time on the run. And the mythical early power bombs is in Norfair, there's a pack that is not hidden behind power bomb blocks, but it is hidden under lava, and they're still inaccessible because you need to go to the end of the game to get the suit that survives lava to pick them up. So that was the theoretical early power bombs. What we found instead is you go almost to the end of the game, and there's a power bomb hidden behind power bomb blocks, and one of our runners, C Scotty W, found a clip using the ice beam to clip through the wall and pick them up and save about 2 minutes off the run. You turn around, you go do the cleanup, and you come back and you spend an extra minute getting the stuff you skipped. So overall, it saves about a minute off of the whole run. So it's early power bombs. It's not what we expected, but it's what we got. Nice, I got the double on the worm there. This worm takes 3 missiles to kill. Usually you wait for his eye to open, you shoot him, you dodge his little projectiles. You shoot him 2 more times. If you jump, there's a frame-perfect trick where you can land 2 missiles in one shot, and it saves the cycle, which is actually a major reset point for a lot of our runners. Let's see. This room coming up is also known as the Hive Room, which is another infamous reset point. There are lots of bugs flying around lots of hives. They fly sort of randomly, but they sort of follow you, so there's a sort of reliable method to lure them in a pattern, where most of the time you can jump through the hive room and not worry about them. Sometimes you get hit. Let's see if it works. I got hit there. So that wasn't too bad. I got hit on the first hive. It is very infamous to get to that third hive and get knocked down and lose maybe about 10 seconds off the run. In a game like this, we're at the point where we're saving frames, trying to scramble ahead of each other, so 10 seconds is a huge reset point at the beginning of the game. Let's see. I was actually expecting a co-commentator with me today, but I have not heard from him yet, so I'm trying to come up with something on the fly to fill the void here. Bombs is one of the first major upgrades you get in any Metroid game. It allows you to blow up blocks and bomb jump. So in little tunnels like this, you can actually propel yourself upwards, and you can infinite bomb jump by bombing twice in midair. Which I'm actually going to do shortly to skip a section and pick up some items in Brinstar early. Oops. Oh nice, I had good bugs today. Those bugs are also random, when they fall, where they fall, if they even fall at all. Oops. Okay, I had to concentrate for that. This section, you are intended to go down to Norfair, pick up the high jump, the ice beam, some other upgrades, and it'll lead you back to this area because there's hot rooms that you can't enter. And you're supposed to come back here with the ice beam and freeze all those rippers. and climb up there safely and easily and get the Various suit to go back down to Norfair for maybe your second or third trip and survive the hot rooms. But for the speed run, we actually just bomb jump straight up here and just get it now, and we don't have to come back. And actually on that topic, we're actually not even going to get the Various suit at all on the 100% run, because a weird quirk of one of the, not the final boss, but the boss before the final boss, he actually unlocks your powered suit. Oh, I cut straight for this. There. Oh no! Okay, good. Got it twice in a row, that's good. The timing on those bomb jumps is a little finicky, so it's hard to talk while timing the jumps. But the Various suit is actually to the left of this room, and it's possible to get early with some other well-timed bomb jumps, but it is very slow. You have to cross the rest of the room. There's a little cutscene where Samus morphs into the Various suit. We're only interested in this E-tank over here, because that is a required item for 100%. At the end of the game, well, let me back up. Throughout the beginning of the game, you'll pick up some unknown items, which are parts of Samus' suit that you don't have access to. And a boss at the end of the game powers up your suit and reveals the gravity suit, the space jump, and the plasma beam. And as part of the package, you actually get Various suit when that happens. So you only have to pick up 99 of the items. You get Various suit for free in this run. Kill that guy. Here's the last tough bomb jump. There we go. So with those well-timed bomb jumps, I've skipped, or not skipped, but I've done early a major section of the game where you're supposed to come back with better items. So with this, I just have a few more missile packs to collect, and then I'm on my way to Kraid. If we have any donations to read, there isn't too much more going on in this section of the game.
I just want to let everyone know the charity that we are raising money for is for RAD. RAD is a non-profit organization that's trying to help with mental health care and removing the two greatest barriers that are access and affordability. So they're trying to help provide a universal mental health care system to everyone around the world, which I think is a great cause. They've reached 133 different countries and they've helped over 37,000 people. So we can help them reach even more countries and more people to get the help they need. And then we also have some great incentives coming up too. The next incentive is Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Lingering Whales Super Boss. We also have a poll for Chameleon Twist, where we can choose the character. The choices are White, Linda, Fred, Jack, and Davy. Linda and Davy are currently in the lead, so those are some upcoming incentives you can donate for.
Okay, and with that, we've entered Kraid. And the good thing about cleaning up Brinstar early with all those extra missiles is we now have enough missiles to kill the mini-boss in Kraid in 2 cycles. It takes 30 missiles to kill. With each cycle, it'll jump up and reveal its weak point and try to grab you. And you can fit about between 15 to 20 missiles in it for each cycle. So that's just enough for 2 cycles. There is an alternate route that's easier than the one I did. You don't have to do any of those hard bomb jumps, but you get 2 less missile packs. So the trade-off for the easier route is it is very dependent on luck if you pick up missiles from enemies that you kill on the way. And you need to get, I think, at least 2 or 3 drops just to kill the worm, and another 2 or 3 drops to fight some enemies after the worm without slowing down. There's another little sequence break there with bomb jumps. You're supposed to come to this room with the power grip, which we'll show later, that lets you grip ledges and crawl up into them. But for now, I'll get to the worm and fight him. Actually, before the worm, there's this hidden Chozo machine. This activates the monorail system in Zero Mission. So if you've seen any percent runs, you're familiar with the acid worm skip. There's a very long room we'll be going into shortly where you're supposed to ride that rail to cross the room, and for any percent, it's slow to come all this way to kill the worm. So you just do a really hard bomb jump and skip activating the rail at all. Take one. is dead. And I have 20 missiles left over, which is plenty for the rest of Kraid. So far, so good. Another thing about the intended route for this game is there is a lot of intended backtracking in this game. There's you may remember the very first Chozo statue in the game where I morphed into his hands and he pulled up a map and he showed me where the long beam is, and he's saying you need to go get the long beam, and the statue there will tell you where to go next, and it leads you all over Norfair, or all over Zebes really, several times over, where you have to go down somewhere and get one item and go back up and get the next item and go back down and back up, and there's a lot of exploration. But once you get bombs, you can really just go anywhere you want for free almost. Bombs are very powerful in this game. So knowing where everything is, we really just take one trip through all the areas. At the end of the game, when we get our fully powered suit, we'll do a kind of a victory lap to get the hidden power bombs that are hidden behind power bomb blocks. And that's really it as far as backtracking and multitasking. Another little piece of tech that you see me doing, and just about every opportunity I have, is if I want to bomb jump somewhere high, I like to jump and place the first bomb and jump back into it. Those are named bomb jumps, and we call them JBJs for short. And they're very useful because every JBJ saves about a second. The
I'm late, Nick, but I'm here.
Oh, hey, Dice. I might let you take over. I wasn't expecting to talk so much. My voice is already straining on me, so I'll let you introduce yourself.
That's fine. I set an alarm and then I fell back asleep. You know how it goes.
All right, well, we're in Kraid and I'm in the boring room, so that's a perfect time to get yourself introduced and get up to speed.
Boy. Hi, everybody. I'm One-Sided Dice. I was supposed to be commentating from the get-go, but I dropped the ball on that. So let's see if I can get caught up. There isn't a whole lot to say in the boring room. It's exactly how its name suggests. We're coming up on the last few rooms before the Kraid fight, which in 100% is not a whole lot of fun. It's a lot harder than it would be in other categories.
Kraid is unironically the hardest boss in the game on 100% mode.
And the easiest boss on any percent. That's what's really funny. It's very easy to lose your runs to Kraid if you don't time your missiles right.
Yeah, the mechanics of the Kraid fight is he only takes 15 missiles to kill, but he opens his mouth in order for you to shoot him, and you have to get the missiles inside his mouth. And after a few seconds, he'll close his mouth because he realizes he's being shot to death. So you have to shoot him in the face and get him to open his mouth again.
And he keeps making the arena harder and harder depending on how many times he's been hit.
So that was a perfect Kraid fight. These blocks to the right of me, he destroys them throughout the fight. So the longer the fight takes, he'll destroy some of them and swipe more of them, and he'll walk closer to the wall, and he basically just gets right up in your face while you're trying to kill him. So the quicker you kill him, the easier your time is.
I'm a few seconds behind. I didn't know you killed Kraid. When you said you killed Kraid.
Oh, yeah, since I'm playing the game, I might be a little bit ahead of you. I'll try to give you I'll try not to spoil too much.
Oh wait, you're already done?
Kraid is dead. And now we get the heck out of Kraid and go to Norfair.
One thing I really like about running 100% is getting the speed booster a lot earlier. There's so much more utility with it.
There's a lot of cool shine sparks that are set up in the speedrun route that are really tough to pull off, and each shine spark has its own name because they're all unique and fun. I'll try to point them all out as we come up on them.
Yeah, so I just wanted to hop in real quick, just letting you know that we have a $25 donation from Luna Zephyr. It says, "Good luck, Noxious Nick. Love always, Luna." Heart.
This is actually a perfect chance for a few more donations if you got them. We're in a little cutscene and a little stretch of time.
Oh, so I just forgot to also mention incentive that's later in the day. That's after the 2 incentives that I mentioned earlier. So we have naming incentives for WCW/NWO, which is the wrestler name, as a character limit of 24, but get your donations in for those 2. And then also the Kingdom Hearts donation is, we need $40 to reach it, the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Lingering Will Super Boss. So
Going to be making our way over to North there now, but it'll be a lot faster than it was on the way to get missiles.
So now that we have bombs, we have access to the shortcut, which we skipped the missile there because we'll be coming back through the shortcut very much faster on the way back and picking up that missile in a much cooler fashion.
This is one of the first Shine Spark tricks that you get to do. I never do it, but he makes it look easy.
Yeah, if you're familiar with Super Metroid, you might know sparking into anything will bonk you and lose all your speed, and yeah, it's just bad.
Nick, did you happen to see the message I sent you in chat?
Yes, I got the message, and I'm already going. There's not too much I can do to change at the time.
Just making sure it was seen.
Sure. In Zero Mission and Fusion, they introduced the concept of sparking into a slope and continuing to run so you don't lose your speed. And that is used quite a lot to maintain your Shine Spark throughout multiple rooms or spark through multiple areas without losing it.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Actually, coming up in just a minute, I'm hoping to show off a trick that I've just recently been able to figure out myself called the Criteria JBJ Shine Spark. There's a couple runners that do it, but you store a Shine Spark and wall jump up a pillar, and in order to save some time, you do a JBJ while your Shine Spark is charged to skip recharging on the left. If I fail it, I'll end up flying to the left anyways and not lose too much time to attempting it, but we'll see how it goes.
If your timing's really bad, then you can lose a lot of time rather than save as much.
There we go. Got stuck in a tunnel for a second. Oh, I think I got it. I was just barely high enough. So that was the Criteria JBJ. Very tough Shine Spark. I only know of 2 or 3 other runners that can pull it off in a run. But that slope that I just sparked into to get back to the left, that is normally the intended route. You're supposed to spark to the left, recharge, and use that height to go back to the right.
It's a 5 to 7 second time save, but on the higher tiers, every second counts.
Absolutely. Oops. If you missed it, we just picked up Power Grip, and the tutorial for Power Grip was crawling out of the ground at a very slow speed over there, so it's faster to just bomb jump your way out of that pit and not wait for the tutorial to crawl up. Nice gold. That Criteria JB Dre is actually recent enough for me to figure out that I just golded that segment. Getting it in the run finally. I'm really glad I got that. Alright, so I mentioned earlier that you're supposed to get the Power Grip and the Ice Beam and go back and pick up the Various Suit in order to survive the hot rooms. We skipped the Various Suit because it's faster to just take the heat damage and go through the hot rooms, so fingers crossed that we survive those today. Ah. I just attempted the ice cream spark. It is possible to store that spark and keep it in this room and spark up through the ceiling. It is very difficult to do.
See, this is one of those spots where the route can really diverge between runners. Some people will go down and take care of the hot stuff before ice beam, and some runners choose to go up top and do this stuff and then head down and do that.
Yeah, and that's another route divergence that can depend on the Brinstar choice that I made earlier to go pick up those items early.
Oh, you did early Brinstar?
Yes.
Yes.
I actually just recently switched to that route for the missile consistency in Kraid. But if you don't go to the early Brinstar, you miss out on that E-Tank that's up there by the Varia suit. And with one less E-Tank, it's safer to do some of these rooms in a different order. Specifically this room I'm in now, with the alternative Norfair route, you go somewhere else and you fight a boss in Norfair that gives you an E-Tank, and with the health refill you spark up to the top of Norfair and do that room last. Oh, that guy shot me out of my spark there. That doesn't usually happen.
Oh, look at that lucky super drop.
Yeah, on the bright side, supers are in short supply at Norfair. You pick up 2 of them in total, and you want each one gives you 2 supers.
If you use one in a wrong spot, that can spell the end of your run.
There's a boss right as you enter Ridley that takes 4 supers to kill quickly. And you want to use your supers in Norfair to open the green doors and then hopefully get them back as soon as you can so that you can continue on to quickly kill the first boss in Ridley without slowing down. There's a shine break, which is another piece of tech where if you run over a speed booster block in the floor, the speed booster will break it. But sometimes you want to store your speed booster and spark underneath the floor, so you have to time it right and store the spark close enough that the block still breaks.
That right there is a trick I gotta do. This is the longest hell run in the game. One of the more difficult ones, too, since you have to do some diagonal bomb jumps to get out of there.
Yeah, if you're not comfortable with your bomb jumps, it can be pretty anxiety-inducing to get into that last hot room, and you're trying to bomb jump up, and your health is draining, and your bomb jumps aren't working, and it can fall apart pretty quickly. I'm actually going to take a safety heal here. I don't normally heal here. If you want to go fast, you have just barely enough health to survive the last hot room, and then you go up against the side hopper that may or may not kill you afterwards. In a marathon, I'm going to take the heal.
Always better in a marathon.
And the good thing about that heal is this is the point where you want to fill up on your supers and you kill those rocket rippers I was just killing. And you have a pretty good chance one of them will fill your supers up. It doesn't always happen, but that's another marathon safety, is making sure I have my supers. Oop.
That was interesting.
Yeah, there's another really tough shine spark that you're supposed to store and fall through that little tunnel there, and I accidentally spent my spark boosting up to the top of the tunnel. But that's fine, it doesn't waste too much time.
Seems like 90% of the sparks you do in this game, or on this route, are very difficult.
Okay, we made it through that last hot room. It takes about 150 health to survive that room. So if you go to the statue where I healed and I had 190 health, I didn't want to cut it that close.
You would have had to heal anyway because you're going to need 46 health, I believe, for the next hot room.
Yeah, that's another part of taking those risks when you're going for PBs. is you hope enemies drop health along the way and you can just go fast without slowing down. And that's the last hot room of the game. Well, actually I'm wrong. There is another hot room in Ridley, but it's only for a second.
It's negligible.
Yeah. You have to practically already be dead before you enter the room for that hot room to be a problem.
Hey, that's possible. See, I do early Windstar, so this route throws me off a lot of times.
You mean late bird star?
Yes.
I make the same mistake too. It's called early Brinstar because you pick up the items early. Oops, I accidentally paused and I meant to change weapons. But I accidentally call it early Brinstar too because I feel like I'm leaving Brinstar early.
I just woke up, so.
Hey, I'm glad you could join us.
Same here.
So entering Ridley, the first thing we do is turn around and leave Ridley, because the cocoon that I fought to get into Ridley is a scripted event where he sits on the floor and blocks the path, and entering Ridley causes him to burrow his way down in here and transform into the real boss.
Fun fact, this cocoon is the same kind of cocoons you killed in that hallway.
So 4 supers and I think about 18 missiles, and he's dead as soon as he enters the room. I think it's possible to one-cycle him with 3 supers. Any less than 3, you have to chase him back and forth, and it's actually a real fight at that point, and it costs a lot of time.
I don't know how the heck you just did that.
Lots of practice. There's the Amago Spark. Storing a spark as you're shooting the missile block in the floor and keeping it into this room. Here's the negligible hot room. Oops. Do you want to tell them about the ice clip that I'm going to use to get into the floor here?
Oh yeah. So coming up is it's a little trick called the ice clip. What he's gonna do is he's gonna use these floor spawning bugs to clip through these speed blocks right here. It's interesting when they're frozen like that and you bomb and you kill them with a bomb while you're on them. It tries to put you at their X position, the X position at where they spawn. And fortunately, that just puts us right through the floor.
Yeah, the intended way to get through that floor is there's a room several rooms over to the right where you can get enough space to get another Shine Spark, and you have to run through this room and pick up the map and carry that Shine Spark all the way over there to break the floor, which is
That's
a
like
lot
an
of
extra
time.
minute.
Yeah, it is a very long time running back and forth to keep a Shine Spark. So being able to clip through the floor saves a pretty significant amount of time here.
Coming up, we got the rest of the Ridley puzzle rooms, and oh, they're so fun.
This one doesn't have a clip. We do have to run back and forth and get a Shine Spark and carry it through this room. We can save a little bit of time by sparking at an angle to just break the wall there, instead of sparking all the way to the door and turning around and running back and forth. Oh.
These rooms are
I tried to do something
absolute
fancy
run
there.
killers.
I messed up the fancy strat, so I'll do it the easy way now for a quick
Oh no,
backup.
Nick. I can't speak for other people, but Ridley's one of the biggest reset points of the game for my runs.
Yeah, especially for 100%. There's lots of little puzzles like this that require you to leave and re-enter the room, and the door transitions add so much time.
And this next one coming up is a 4-frame window to get it. In a 60 FPS game, that is hard.
First try for that one.
Nice.
Yeah,
I talk about how hard it is. He makes it look easy, you know.
In the room before this, the intended strat you saw was you blow up the bomb chain, and you follow the chain to the end to the item that it opens up. There is a speed strat that saves about a second where you actually push your way through the chain and you bomb parts of it early. And it's kind of risky because you can fall through the floor like what happened to me.
I'd like to apologize about the puppies fighting. There's going to be one more simple puzzle room coming up in a minute. The good thing about this is when he's all done with Ridley, never has to come back.
Yes, there are no power bombs in Ridley. I was explaining earlier that the big theme of 100% is we get to the end of the game to get power bombs, and then we turn around and go back to the beginning of the game to pick up all the power bombs we can't get.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oh, saved it.
Very nice, very nice. Gonna have, what, 6 supers for Ridley?
Yeah, Ridley's been pretty stingy on super drops so far. There's been 1 or 2 that were just out of reach, and I thought, I'll get the next one, and now there isn't a next one.
There never is a next one.
Oh, 5 supers, I tinked 1. That's still plenty of supers. Ridley dies really fast.
Yeah, Ridley and Kraid's roles kind of reverse when you're running 100%. Ridley becomes negligible and Kraid becomes one of the biggest challenges.
Luckily, a side effect of taking that safety heal in Norfair is if you're able to skip that heal, you also skip out on 30 or 40 missiles that you don't have because you've used them and you don't stop to pick up a lot of drops in the run. So taking that safety heal in Norfair fills up an extra 30 to 40 missiles that I normally wouldn't have at this point. So I have plenty for Ridley and plenty for Torian afterwards.
Oh, Ridley being a pal with his supers.
Yeah. One super. This is one of the few RNG points in the run where after killing Ridley, you really want to fill up on your supers as fast as possible because we're going straight to Torian and supers are great for killing Metroids very fast. I messed up my jumpy timing, but I still got the best strat in the game known as jumpy.
How'd you do that? I don't mean the strat itself, I mean the saving it.
Oh, that's a good question. It just worked out. You have to believe in jumpy and it'll give back.
That was a magical jumpy.
So I have 6 supers, and normally you want to have 10 at this point, so I'm a little short. But it is 100%. We'll be fine on ammo. We might just be a little slow on speed.
The Metroids could always be nice.
Uh-oh.
Unfortunately, Nick missed one of those really cool shine sparks and had to run a backup strat. Only lost a few seconds, though.
So that missile in the shortcut room, this is where we're coming back to it. We actually are required to do a Shine Spark through that room to pick up the last super missile in Brinstar. And since we're sparking... Hey, that's a super... Since we're sparking through the room anyways, we may as well just pick up the missile while we have speed.
This room is one of the few times you're actually okay with going backwards to get a super. This is another cool thing they added in Super Metroid is the ball spark. Or Metroid Zero Mission. My apologies.
That game. So the early Brinstar that I mentioned, picking up the items at the very beginning of the game with the series of bomb jumps, for the people who don't like to do those bomb jumps, this is the point in the run where you actually turn back through the shortcut room, and using the power of high jump and screw attack and wave beam and all these upgrades, you can just go grab the items really fast.
I don't think there's much of a time difference between the two routes.
It's
more
actually
consistency and crate, isn't it?
It's within a second, actually. It's almost equally as fast to get them now as it is to get them early. The only big difference between the routes is having more missiles earlier and more health to do some of those hot rooms without refilling as much.
So you could say people who do late Brinstar might be a little better.
Could be. Currently, first and second place on the leaderboards do totally different routes from each other. If you want to check out all the differences, you can watch Scotty's run for the early Brinstar route and John's run for the late Brinstar route, and they're equally viable for top tier times. This might be another good time for donations. Torian is just going to be me running into a room and shooting a Metroid with fingers crossed that it gives me drops back.
Okay. We got $10 donation from Thar. $10 to see IBA crushing Lingering Will. Also really enjoying this Metroid Zero Mission run. Keep it up, noxiousnick.
Thank you.
Yeah, just want to say once again, we are raising money for the nonprofit RAD. RAD is dedicated to removing the two greatest barriers to mental health care, access and affordability. So it's a great charity, so that's what we're raising for right now. Yeah, but with that donation, we are now $30 away from the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Lingering Will Super Boss incentive. We have a little less than 4 hours to meet that incentive, so let's do it. Lingering Will Super Boss seems like it'll be a lot of fun.
Pretty good super drops so far. In a perfect world, every Metroid would give you a super back. Oh, that one gave me double supers. Oops. But we're on a pretty good pace for this Torian.
As long as you don't miss with your supers.
Uh-oh. Okay, that was a little... got a little hectic there. I like to save my last two... Well, as I say that, I whiffed it. Normally, you want to have 4 supers leaving the Metroid rooms, because 4 supers is the fastest ammo that can kill Mother Brain. So when I say my last super, I mean my 5th super. To finish off the Metroids.
Four supers is always what you want leaving Turian. Sometimes you could get lucky in 100% though.
Finish the fight real quick because it's over pretty fast. So there's a safe spot on Mother Brain's tank. You could probably guess you're supposed to jump back and forth between those platforms and dodge the turrets and dodge the Rinkas and dodge her I-beam laser and try and squeeze some shots into her.
Who wants to put all that effort in?
Yeah, the alternative is just to stand right in her face and put all your ammo in her as fast as you can. She has a pattern where once you get 500 damage into her, she'll shoot a laser out of her eye, and supers do 500 damage and missiles do 100 damage. So the routine is you fire 4 missiles and then a super to do 900 damage, which will cause her to shoot her laser, and then you can repeat until she's dead.
Yeah, Mother Brain has, I believe, 3,500 health.
Correct. With Mother Brain dead, this is, in the lore, since this is a remake of the first game, this is where the first game ends. You defeat Mother Brain and you're done. It's a victory. In the remake for the Game Boy, they added a little post-game content where you're done, you try to fly away, and the space pirates shoot you down, and you lose your suit, you lose your ship, you lose all your upgrades. You're basically stranded with nothing.
They kind of had to do this because of all the other upgrades you have in every other Metroid game.
Yeah, this was a pretty creative way to bring all the new upgrades into the old remake without just... I don't want to say they didn't completely remake the game, because they really did. But they had a good way to save the goodies until the end for you.
Although the first time I ever played this game, all I could keep thinking through most of it was, gosh, I wish I had space jump.
So, we've just been shot down, we don't have our suit. Our gun, if you want to call it a gun, is really just a taser. It has a little charge in the top left. When it's fully charged, I can stun a pirate. And the pirate is stunned for maybe 2 seconds and he comes right back after me. So the goal of this game is just to get to the ghost, which we call Charlie, without dying. And Charlie will give us back our suit along with some upgrades and turn on all of the powered up items we got. And he just throws Invaria. Oh no.
Yeah. It's a nice gift.
Alright, Dice, here's your time to bully me.
Oh no. I didn't even mention the map.
Now's your chance.
World record strats, guys. That's alright. I've gotten the map in my last, 4 or 5 runs. I'll go easy on you. So this entire section is just about running and hiding from the space pirates. If you get touched by one, they do a full tank of damage.
Yeah, in a typical PB attempt, you wouldn't take that heal there, you would just go. And touching one pirate means your run is over. So obviously for a marathon, I'm going to take the heal, so I can touch up to, I think, 9 pirates, which hopefully won't happen today. But in a typical run, you shouldn't see any pirates getting touched.
This is one of those parts of the run that has been highly optimized. I don't think there's been any new strats found for this part in a long time.
Actually, this part is so optimized that every so often we'll find a room that maybe you jump through a door and save a few frames, or you shoot a pirate in one way instead of another way and save a few more frames. And little tiny optimizations which, over time might save a couple seconds, and in the big picture those couple seconds are the difference between the 106 or the 105 world record time, so they can add up.
That's only Scotty going for those times. So in every single room, there is a strategy to not get seen by the space pirates, and that's optimal, because if they're chasing you, it's just wasting seconds here and there.
That can depend. There are some rooms where it's better to not get seen, and there are other rooms where it's possible to not get seen.
Say hi to Roger.
But you have to move very
he's
slowly
a bro.
to avoid them. Oh yes, Roger's the pirate that you shoot who doesn't turn the alarm on.
I like to think he's on break. Coming into Chozodia, where the difficulty does ramp up, especially if you're new to the game.
There are rooms with lots of searchlights, lots of pirates, some eyeballs on the wall taking a shot at me.
Oh, that was interesting. Nick not going for the Sam strat.
I shot the ceiling instead of the pirate, but I can work with that.
It's a 3-second difference. Missing that room loses you 3 seconds. Or maybe it's just 1 second. As much time as it takes for two door transitions.
Yeah. Running into this room and running back out of this room is the time I would have saved.
No, come back with my power bomb.
Yeah, this is the point where they tease you and they let you know that there are power bombs in the game. They're hidden somewhere. They're hiding them from you.
The rooms just swarm with space pirates who apparently don't care if they kill their own.
Oh yes, that's actually one of the funniest parts of Suitless, I thought, is the pirates can shoot each other. And they kill each other all the time because one will shoot at you and hit his friend and he'll do, ah! He's gone.
That's one of the biggest strats in the early Suitless. I just call that friendly fire. This wall jump here, if you drop it, it can really be the end of your run.
Yeah, there's a gang of maybe 4 or 5 space pirates that just sit there waiting for you.
And that was the end of Suitless. Just got Charlie left. One good thing about healing at the beginning of Suitless, though, is you can deboost on Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie operates on a cycle of random timers. And if you skip the heal, you just kind of have to deal with whatever pattern you get. But with enough health, you can shoot him a couple times and improve your chances at getting faster times.
With this much health, it's always beneficial to shoot him after the first round. Shoot him at least once to try to fix it.
Yeah. I don't know what the real numbers are, but I heard that the math is something like the timer starts like somewhere between 1 and 10 seconds or something, and if you shoot him, the timer gets a random new time between 1 and 7 seconds or something. So it's not guaranteed to be faster, but statistically it should be faster.
Yeah, in the long run. See, after that damage boost, he went almost immediately. Getting some good ones.
Too bad.
Wow, that was a very good Charlie fight.
Oh, and I got the glitch.
All right.
There's a glitch in this cutscene where if you turn around on the same frame that the cutscene is supposed to lock you into place, you're free to move around when you shouldn't be moving around. And it does absolutely nothing but lets you fire your gun during the cutscene, and some neat little sprites show up.
Awesome.
So now we get to really show off the Shine Spark charges.
You even got a plasma beam off.
Yeah, that was weird.
So I think it goes without saying, this is the funnest part of the game.
Yep, for those that can't read Japanese, I got my gravity suit, I got my plasma beam, and I got my space jump. And they also snuck Varia in there. That is the point where Charlie just gives you Varia, and you don't have to go get it yourself.
He was just impressed by how well you fought him. Gave you a present.
There's the Charlie E-Tank. A very hard Shine Spark to pull off casually. I think I see a lot of casual players that play this game for the first time and want to 100% it. And that spark right there sometimes becomes their afternoon project, is just trying to get that E-Tank.
I'll be honest, that E-Tank has actually killed my runs. And I've been doing this for quite a while.
It's very tough. So this is the point in the run where we're going to get early power bombs. At this point, and in any
Very
percent
exciting.
run, you would just go straight to the end of the game. You would kill the final boss, which is we call him Mecha Ridley. He's a mechanical version of Ridley, and in the game. And in the old route, you would go up to where Mecha Ridley is, pick up power bombs, and turn around and go all the way back to the beginning of the game. So at this point, we're just going to go most of the way to the end and save a few minutes.
This is a strat that was actually just recently discovered. We've been saying forever that there was just no way to ever be able to get power bombs early. I apologize for my puppies.
And the funny thing about this trick is it's actually really easy to get the early power bombs. It's just the setup was a little specific to find.
Yeah, glove, why don't you?
Yeah, it wasn't until recently that one of our runners, C Scotty W, just kind of sat down and looked at the room and said, "We can get in that wall."
He needs to break his SPs more often. He finds all sorts of new tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally instead of breaking those missile blocks up there, he would have shot through the red door and headed up towards the bridge.
Here's the trick to get early power bombs. Gonna get deboosted in a very specific way to lure this pirate into this hole. Oops. Oh, I actually failed it, but that's fine. I can try this a few more times before he kills me. What happens is he turns around on a very specific pixel that when I freeze him, he'll push me into the wall and I'll get power bombs. And there we go. Second try. There's
and
a
now
crumple.
He doesn't have to head towards the top until after everything else is done.
Yep. There's a crumble block there that is supposed to stop you from getting in there the back way. I had to use a power bomb to escape through the power bomb door. But
funny enough, most of our strats to get any kind of power bombs use some sort of clip.
Yeah. There are very few power bombs in this game, and they are so powerful that each one has a very specific use. There's not a lot of chances to get more power bombs as drops. The one room where you could get drops is referred to as the lottery room because it's so rare. But with that one pack of power bombs, I can refill at the save stations in Chozodia. Actually refill your health and ammo, which is nice because nothing else in Chozodia drops items just randomly like other creatures. So we use 2 power bombs to escape the early power bombs area. I'm going to use 2 more to blow up a glass tube and get out of the ship.
And then refill once more.
Yep. And then we'll be on our way to cleanup back in Zebus.
Just chime in here. We got a $15 donation from Anonymous. It says, "Let's go all runners, here to an amazing event, and let's make this lingering will happen." So the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Myths lingering will incentive, we just need $15 more. And then we still have the incentives for choosing the character choice in Chameleon Twist and the naming incentive for WCW and WO later. And once again, I saw we have some influx of viewers, so we are raising money for the nonprofit RAD. RAD is dedicated to removing the 2 greatest barriers to mental health care, which is access and affordability. Too many people are without mental health care, and so they're trying to change that. Their mission is to provide a universal mental health care system to people around the world, and they have aided people in 133 different countries, and they've helped over 35,000 people. So, great charity. So, please support it.
You know, Nick, I like how you talk about how rare hitting the lottery is, and then you hit the lottery.
Yeah, in the before early power bombs was discovered, you would actually have more than one power bomb pack. You'd pick up 2 before you make the trip back this way, and you would use some to open up the tube, and then you could get through this room with only 2, which is kind of hard. What I'm doing right now is a series of shine recharges. But if you collect an extra power bomb with the old route, you could have skipped all these recharges by blowing up some power bomb blocks on the floor, which allows you to just run through the room. So the old route had not really a strat, but just a scenario known as the lottery, where you'd get a lucky power bomb drop and you could save time by skipping all those recharges. With the new route, with early power bombs, you only have a maximum of 2 bombs, so you refill, and you can get a lucky power bomb drop and it does nothing because you're already at max. But there is a new scenario that no one wants to go for called the double lottery, where you don't refill and you just go in the room anyways and you hope you get 2 power bomb drops. And if you don't get 2 power bomb drops, your run is over.
That's only for people who just want to beat Scotty's time and are on pace to do it.
Yeah, that could save maybe like 10 or 20 seconds because it skips a refill, but it is very dumb luck to shoot for in a run.
You got to remember, the old strat also had early and late ship cleanup.
Yeah, there were some divergences based on how you used your power bombs and which ones you picked up.
We're back in Turian. You see what he did to Mother Brain.
Gonna do a quick space boost here to get a hidden missile.
In my mind, this is one of the harder items to get.
It is possible to shine spark across that room instead of space boosting, but the shine spark itself is so precise to set up that it's actually harder for a lot of people to do the spark. And it's slower anyways. Even if you get the spark, you spark all the way to the end of the room and you have to come back and get the missile.
Not to mention the time it takes it to start the spark. I'd say it's better to do the shine spark when you're first starting and then space boost as you get better. The only problem is it's one of those tricks that once you get, now you have to do it every time.
I am Team Space Boost all the way.
I just recently joined Team Space Boost.
A Space Boost in this game, for those that don't know, is when you get running speed, so you could have a shine spark, and instead of sparking, you actually just jump with your space jump and carry the spark throughout whatever room you're jumping through. And once you unlock the gravity suit and space jump, there's quite a few rooms at the end of the game that do some pretty cool space boosts.
Yeah, I was goofing off on a run, said, I'll try Space Boost once, and then I got it in first try. Can't not do it now.
It's as easy as that.
Just coming in here, just letting you know that we have hit the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Lingering Will extensive. Yay!
Nice!
It's gonna be great to see. So, donation from Etchy, $15. Woo! Great run and commentary so far. I hope that was loud enough and enthusiastic enough. So, let's get ready to watch the end of this hype run.
Thanks so much. Keep them coming. Here we're revisiting Kraid now because there's that missile tank, that was underneath the lava behind the speed blocks. So it's impossible to get that missile tank unless you have the gravity suit and speed booster, which you normally won't have until the very end of the game. So we're required to come back here. And since we're here anyways, we can take a shortcut back into Norfair.
There's a lot more to get in Norfair than in other places. Norfair is one of those areas that is a lot harder your second time through.
Yeah, coming up, so I'm under lava now, which you wouldn't know it because my gravity suit is protecting me. But these are the fabled early power bombs that we wish we could get. They're not behind power bomb blocks, so I think they're the only power bombs in the game that you could get before Torian without needing power bombs to get them. But
you would just never survive the trip.
Yeah, there's just no way to get through the lava. The way the lava interacts with you without the gravity suit keeps you stuck to the floor.
That's okay, we took what we could get.
There's another space boost coming up. This is,
Very
in my opinion,
nice.
one of the most fun space boosts in the game.
It's also one of the most time-saving, I believe. The way in. The way back only saves a half a second.
Yeah, the safer trick there is to store your spark before you run over some speed blocks on the floor that would kill your speed. And then you walk into that room, jump up into the ceiling, and just spark to the right. And it's pretty close to the same speed, you just lose the time that you spend walking into the room.
Space boost back.
Yeah, and the space boost on the way out is purely just to show off.
Mission accomplished. Now it's just a matter of going for one last item in Norfair. Oh no, you might have two. I think you skipped a missile pack earlier.
Did I? I must have. Where did I skip a missile pack?
On the side of the long tunnel right outside this room.
Oh, you're right. I'm... Okay, I didn't forget any. This is, Okay, about half an hour ago I talked about switching to the early Brintstar route, which makes your Norfair route slightly different. And in that different route, you get that missile early before you enter Ridley. And I have actually switched just recently enough I forgot. I'm supposed to get that now, so everything's fine.
I'm so glad I said something. So after this item he's grabbing, he's gonna head back up to Criteria and then work his way back to Chozodia, where the real tedious part of the cleanup starts.
Yeah, there's one power bomb pack that is right outside of Charlie. You could actually go up and see it, almost, as soon as you get your fully powered up suit. But it's behind power bomb blocks, so you can't get it until you have power bombs.
So you basically have to go all the way back through Chozodia and then go all the way back again to the mothership.
Yeah, in the community, this specific pack is known as out of the way power bombs because they're just out of the way for any reason in any category. And there's the last missile pack in the game, which I can now tell because I have 250 missiles.
One thing I like about these routes is it shows you kind of how far off the beaten path you can go. Not that you need to, but you can.
Yeah, these are rooms that you might recognize from the suitless section. Now that we have our fully powered up suits, some blocks have appeared that weren't there during the suitless section, and they're power bomb blocks. So they're supposed to stop you from coming back until you've really unlocked your power bomb expansion, and then you can come back and get the last expansion.
It looks like you have an extra power bomb or two.
I do. I have a couple power bombs that I picked up in Norfair that I don't usually get.
Let's see. Yeah, I think it's yeah, you have one extra.
I know where I can use that.
What? Maybe. It's not important. It's power bomb usage is so carefully planned in these routes that even when we do wind up with extra, we don't really pay attention to it. Just use the ones that you were gonna.
There's a few rooms where a power bomb could save a second or two, and if you have an extra one, it's good to know.
Until you get to that last room and you lay your last power bomb, and then a space pirate knocks you backwards into the last room.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I'm not speaking from experience.
I think it's happened to us all at some point or another. It's definitely happened to me. Especially in the old route, you would get to that room with your last power bomb and you would use it to open the door to get 2 more power bombs. So if you get knocked back into the door before the power bomb explodes, you're done. It's gone.
And now we're just taking the exact same route he took earlier when he first got his suit. It's a little bit slower. No shine spark up through the tube getting back into the mothership.
Yep, and now that I have power bombs and the tube is already exploded, I can go to the right over here and pick up another pack of power bombs, which is locked behind power bomb doors.
The only thing that bothers me about power bombs in this game is power bombs are only there to get more power bombs.
Yeah. Yeah, that really is their only real use in any speedrun.
Woo.
Alright, now we're coming back up where the early power bombs were found. So now we'll get to see the what is actually supposed to be the end of the game, which in the old route we would have already seen and been through. But now we actually get to go through it at the end like we're supposed to.
There's a few items that'd be easy to forget doing early power bombs.
Yeah, I can actually skip some more of the end game. This is where more of the time save comes from getting early power bombs, is you're supposed to go to the right and go all the way up through a series of rooms, fight a slow work bot, some other nonsense. And this yellow door is supposed to prevent you from reaching the end of the game faster, but since we have early power bombs, we can just skip all that and go through the yellow door. But don't worry, we'll still see it. When we get the escape spark.
I think just got one last E-tank to grab and that's it.
I still have the original power bombs to pick up.
Oh, yes.
So for those that don't know, this is as far into the game as you have to get the intended power bombs. This is where they're hidden. See, that pirate is he's carrying the elusive first power bomb. Like, I still got him. You don't have them yet. But now that we already have power bombs, we can use them to open the door early. And come in here and get the secret power bombs with ammo to spare. And I actually have a couple extra power bombs now because I forgot to use my extra one earlier.
Ah.
So this is the room where normally a casual player would see that tunnel in the wall, realize it's power bomb blocks, and they'd probably go back into the ship and find the first power bombs and then finish the game because there's nothing else to do with them. And any percent, there is that shortcut in the ceiling where you can skip getting power bombs altogether. And even in 100%, it's faster to just take the shortcut and lay the bomb on the way. Uh-oh. This is going to cost me a little bit.
I'm thinking he missed the space jump. Oh, at the end!
Alright, second try.
So we have $10 donation from Etchy's #1 fan saying this one's for you, Etchy. And then we have $5 donation from Definitely Not C1, donating $5 for the WCW/NWO wrestler name incentive. And the name is C1.
Alright, I decided to stop talking there so I could get this E-tank finally. This is a very nerve-wracking section of a 100% run, because you're at the very end of the run. There's an E-tank hidden behind a gate that locks if you touch the lasers. So the safe strat is to run to the right, run to the left and break a hole in the floor, run back to the right, store a spark, run back to the left, and you can spark across the floor without really any danger. But that's slow. So the cool strat is just to space jump through the lasers, Mission Impossible style, and avoid them all.
Here's where we find out if he actually did get 100% of the items. The mecha fight is much harder if you have all the items. And he did.
Yeah. Normally, Mecha will die in 6 supers, but if you have 100%, he has 3 times the health and does twice the damage.
That was
So
a very clean mecha fight.
Yeah, it took more than 6 supers to kill him, so I know I have 100%.
All that's left now is getting the heck out of Dodge. One last big trick coming up, and it's the escape spark. It saves a ton of time.
I'm gonna be quiet for just a little while longer just to make sure I get it, and then I'll brag about it once I get it. Hopefully.
Or I'll bully you if you miss it.
There we go. Alright, time is coming up when I jump into the ship. There's going to be 2 metal pirates that guard the ship, and after I kill them, the ship opens up, and time stops when I get in it.
What's funny is once you learn the escape spark, it's not as hard as it looks.
And time.
Very nice run, Nick.
It's like I was just a little bit overestimate.
Oh, no.
Missed a few tricks here and there. I think I had to reset a Ridley puzzle, but these things happen. Normally we would stay and watch the credits and enjoy the 100% at the end of the game, but luckily with this game, Mecha told us for sure we have 100%, so if we're over time and we need to go,